What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Thursday, March 19th, 2015, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. The meteoric rise of Empire's first season concluded during Wednesday's 2-hour finale, and though it appears to be again steady in the targeted demographics of adults 18 through 19, the show kept with habit and added even more viewers. 2 hours of Empire averaged a preliminary 6.4 rating among adults 18 to 49 and 16.5 million viewers. As for its audience, that's up to 800,000 viewers from the previous week. The tune-in in the regular 9 p.m. Time slot hour on Fox was even more impressive. Empire fetched a 6.8 rating in the demo and 17.5 million viewers. Empire, which premiered on January 7th, to a 3.8 rating among adults 18 to 49 and 9.9 million viewers. It subsequently grew into viewership every week for each of the 11 episodes that followed, and with the exception of last week's penultimate outing, Empire also managed the same feat in the key demo. That's just the same day scores. With 7 days of DVR, the latest data has averaged a 6.5 rating with adults 18 through 49 and 15.8 million viewers. It will end the season as the top show on the broadcast network, second only to The Walking Dead on AMC on all of TV. Final ratings will come around 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Could still bring some adjustments to Empire's Wednesday haul. Jimmy Kimmel spoke to comedian Hannibal Buress on Jimmy Kimmel Live on Wednesday night, asking how he felt to be the person to kickstart the backlash against legendary comedian Bill Cosby. Buress said during the episode that was filmed in Austin, "It's definitely a weird situation. I get a lot of messages about it. The weirdest thing about getting a death threat from a male bodybuilder/stripper on Facebook is when you click on his profile and see that you have one mutual friend." He continued, "Having to hit your friend up and say, 'Hey man, can you tell your buddy to stop that? He's going to murder me.' I didn't think he was going to kill me. I'd just rather not take that information to my head if I have to." The interview, in which Burrell also discussed his involvement in the Justin Bieber Comedy Central roast as well. Robert Durst had a latex mask, $42,000 in cash, and a fake ID in his New Orleans hotel room at the time of his Saturday's arrest. The revelations were made public via the search warrant that Houston police filed on Tuesday to search his home. The real estate heir is awaiting a transfer to Los Angeles to face murder charges for the 2000 death of Susan Berman. The money consisted mostly of $100 bills, which were in small envelopes, while the mask could be used to cover a person's head and neck. Durst's room also contained a fraudulent Texas ID card with the name Everett Ward. A prosecutor said on Tuesday that marijuana and a revolver were found in his hotel room as well. The warrant shows that Durst's net worth was estimated at $100 million at the time of the arrest, according to the FBI. The FBI alleges that he had been withdrawing up to $9,000 per day since the fall of 2014. Durst was the focus of HBO's series The Jinx, which aired its finale on Sunday. He is considered a suicide risk and has been moved to a New Orleans jail to a state prison with mental health facilities. The legacy of CBS's sitcom 2.5 Men was always going to be Jon Cryer, the John Hughes darling turned knavish primetime superstar. And Cryer's own legacy was always going to be a memoir that dished about his reckless co-star, Charlie Sheen. While Cryer's tell-all book, So That Happened, isn't officially released until April 7th, excerpts are already available, and The Hollywood Reporter previewed some of the most compelling passages detailing Sheen's bouts of drug use, advice to Cryer on soliciting prostitutes, intense salary negotiations, and more. During 2.5 Men's honeymoon phase, Sheen knocked on Cryer's dressing room door in a panic because his then-wife, Denise Richards, popped up unexpectedly for a visit. Sheen asked Cryer to hide a bag full of pornography, and naturally Cryer investigated what he was into. Cryer said, "I was prepared for the weirdest, but it really was all pretty tamed. Some of it just topless mags. Really, if it was the worst I've had to deal with regarding Charlie's vices, bring on the bag of porn for me to hide. When both stars traveled to Las Vegas to meet a group of CBS affiliates, Cryer, quote, was ready to get the Sin City tour for my co-star, he said. Instead, he went to his room and took a nap. We showed up at a party for the syndicated stations, and then Charlie went back to his room to sleep. I watched our director, Jim Burrows, play blackjack. What happened in Vegas didn't have to stay in Vegas because it was boring as shit. Cryer confessed, I was in a bad state right after my divorce, and I certainly didn't feel dateable. I decided I might as well pay someone for company and certainly intimate pleasures so that I could at least get my equilibrium back with the opposite sex. Charlie suggested a few online purveyors he used, as this was when prostitution was gained a foothold on the internet. Another story, after a brief flirtation with professionals, Cryer met an inspiring actress and sparked an immediate connection. However, Sheen then had to confess on the advice of his therapist that he himself had previously dated the young lady. Sheen said things didn't work out, and Cryer naturally asked why. Sheen explained, well, I wanted to bring another girl into bed with us, and she was not happy about that. Afterwards, Cryer said Sheen looked me straight in the eye and with no trace of irony said, so heads up on that. I went home that night and broke up with Stephanie. Another excerpt is when Sheen was arrested in Aspen, Colorado in 2009 for spousal abuse during his third marriage to Brooke Mueller. Cryer reached out to offer his support. I texted him, dude, my thoughts are with you. If you need to talk, give a call. If you got bigger problems, call me when you get back. Charlie texts back, thanks, bro. Yikes, F me with a bad day. I'm flying home tonight. I'm trying to call over the weekend. Shower rape was bad, but the food was okay. Hair and makeup for mugshot got there too late. He followed that with, and I had some bail bondsmen as Kobe, no joke. There was another excerpt regarding negotiations. Sheen broke a record-breaking per-episode salary despite falling off the wagon, a rocky marriage, looming felony charges, and a possible time behind bars. He managed to secure a massive to $1.8 million an episode, fully 3 times what I was being paid, Cryer wrote. I immediately began contemplating a series of well-publicized drunken brawls in retirement homes, or possibly leading cops on a destructive car chase just prior to my next contract. And a final excerpt. In the last of Sheen's days on 2.5 Men, studio brass Bruce Rosenblum and Peter Roth were brought in to assess the damages from his addiction and subsequent marital problems. Sheen was also having issues delivering a performance, paring down even the simplest stage blocking because he couldn't focus. On the day Rosenblum and Roth were to meet with Sheen, he couldn't even remember his lines during a live taping. After a few minutes composing himself, Cryer said Sheen completely nailed the scene and then walked out on his superiors. Charlie chose to walk out still in full makeup, get in his car, and have his driver take him home. He left Bruce Rosenblum and Peter Roth just standing by his trailer. And with that, we all accepted that something was truly broken here, that Charlie couldn't be counted on to even go through the motions anymore. This was the last episode of 2.5 Men Charlie would ever shoot. Netflix's bold foray into original movies has been swift and, at least among filmmakers, a bit controversial. This because striking a deal with the streaming giant means giving up on the fantasy lurking in the psyche of every producer, director, and star, that your movie will become a box office phenomenon and make you rich. Deep-pocketed Netflix, just as it's disrupted the TV industry, is willing to pay a steep premium to nab projects, as it did with recent deals with Adam Sandler for 4 comedies and Leonardo DiCaprio for environmental documentaries. But despite the pile of cash up front, Netflix, for the most part, doesn't pay back any back end. Wall Street analyst Richard Greenfield referenced Johnny Depp's recent bomb. Surely we won't get the next Frozen, but you won't get Mordecai either. How many films actually make money? We could spend all day going down the list of those that don't. 2 independent projects recently acquired by Netflix provided a case study of the company's acquisition strategies. Kerry Fukunagawa's completed African war film Beasts of No Nation, starring Idris Elba as a brutal commander, and Jadotville, a yet-to-be-short Irish war movie starring Jamie Dornan and Frenchman Guillaume Canet. Netflix paid $12 million for Beasts, or 200% of the movie's budget, something no traditional distributor would offer. Fox Searchlight and Focus Features also bid Beasts, but sources say they toppled out at $8 million. $17 million price tag for Jadotville of more than 140% of the $12 million budget was even eye-popping. Netflix is promising a theatrical release for Beast this year. The film is expected to be seen in only 200 or so independent theaters because most exhibitors remain unwilling to pay a title that simultaneously is debuting elsewhere. Danielle Taplin-Lundberg said Netflix wants to break new ground with this film and create a new paradigm for watching specialty movies. But others say Netflix could face an uphill battle in persuading producers who are accustomed to share of box office grosses to sign up, not to mention filmmakers use a splashy theatrical play. A key test will be how Netflix fares at the Cannes Film Festival at the SXSW. It picks up 6 years, produced by J. and Mark Duplass, with whom Netflix signed a 4-picture deal in January, but has yet to win a major festival film such as Sundance, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, or Brooklyn, both of which went to Fox Searchlight. Why? There's no backend, says one veteran film executive. And Netflix, boasting 57 million subscribers in 50 countries, including 39.1 million in the U.S., is aggressive about holding global rights for up to 20 years, say sources. Fresh off of her Golden Globe win for Jane and the Virgin, Gina Rodriguez has landed the female lead opposite Mark Wahlberg in Peter Berg's Deepwater Horizon. Multiple individuals familiar with the project have told the Wrap. Lionsgate and participant media are teaming up with Lorenzo di Bonaventura on Deepwater Horizon, which chronicles the 2010 BP oil spill. A representative for Lionsgate declined to comment on the cast. Wahlberg is set to play Mike Williams, an electrician aboard the doomed oil rig, while Rodriguez is in early talks to play Andrea Fleitas. Fleitas was helping to operate the oil rig's sophisticated navigation machinery when she noticed a glaring oversight that no one had issued a distress signal to the outside world. She grabbed the radio and attempted to contact the Coast Guard, for which she was reprimanded. Kristen Stewart, who was just cast in a Woody Allen movie, was also eyed for the role, according to insiders. Berg's The Kingdom collaborator Matthew Michael Carnahan wrote the script, and the film is scheduled for release on September 30th, 2016. 80s icon Mr. T is returning to TV this year. The actor, who once even had his own Saturday morning NBC cartoon, will host DIY's network's I Pity the Tool, a nod to his A-Team character's catchphrase, I Pity the Fool. The original B.A. Baracus will lead a team to remodel a home for a family in each episode. HGTV Design Star winner and interior designer Tiffany Brooks will join Mr. T, his arsenal of tools, and his construction team of tough guys in the first season, slated to premiere at some point in 2015. The network did not give a more specific date. The show joins a host of celebrity-focused home improvement theme series on the network, including the Vanilla Ice Project, Daryl's Restoration Overhaul, the Shatner Project, and Reverend Run's Renovation. Mr. T said in the statement, "Before I worked in show business, I worked in the demolition business. And even after I made it in Hollywood, I kept on building things. We're hooking up homeowners who need help with their renovations. I'm tired of all this jibber-jabber. We're out here getting things done, working hard, demolishing the old and rebuilding the new." Jerry Springer's show producer Jill Blackstone has been arrested on suspicion of murdering her deaf sister, the Los Angeles Police Department told the Wrap. Blackstone was taken into custody in connection with the death of Wendy Blackstone, who's 49, and there is currently an ongoing investigation, a spokesperson for the LAPD said on Wednesday. However, the district attorney's office has dropped the case from the time being. Police received a call from Blackstone on Monday telling them that there was a dead person and 3 dead dogs in the garage of her home in the San Fernando Valley section of Los Angeles, according to TMZ. Blackstone reportedly said the person killed themselves, but LAPD thought the suicide note was suspicious and believed it was written by the former Sally Jesse Raphael and Rosie producer. The body reported shows no outward signs of trauma, and a toxicology report is pending. Blackstone was held on a $1 million bail. Her other credits include The Osbournes and Dr. Drew on Call and the Tony Danza Show. The sales of streaming music topped the sales of CDs for the first time ever in 2014. The Recording Industry Association of America revealed a new report released this week. In a year that the music industry saw a minor sales decline to $6.97 to $6 billion, down less than 0.5% from the 2013 total of $7 million. Revenues from streaming music service grew 29% to $1.87 billion in 2014 and accounted for 27% of total industry revenues. While CDs still account for the highest percentage of sales in the physical market with 82%, they are steadily declining in value. Sales decreased 12.7% in 2014 with a total of $1.85 billion. CDs comprise 27% of the overall market at an estimated retail value, the RIAA said. Still, overall physical sales, including vinyl, topped streaming with a 32% on the market shares. Digital downloads reigned supreme, owing 37% of the market, while ringtones accounted for 1% and synchronization accounted for 3%. If the growing of streaming sales over the last 5 years continues, then it appears streaming services including Spotify, Rhapsody, Pandora, SiriusXM, YouTube, and Vivo will top CDs in 2015. Streaming services accounted for just 5% of the market in 2009 and accounted for 21% in 2013. If the growth continues at a similar rate, revenues from streaming services should breach 30% of the market share. The long-awaited Janis Joplin biopic starring Amy Adams, Get It While You Can, has hit yet another developmental snag. The film's producer LKL Productions and the Switzerland-based Silver Reel have sued writer-producer Ron Terry, his affiliated companies, and the investment company Chesterton Capital, claiming the latter three have breached the terms of their optional agreement, according to The Hollywood Reporter. LKL and Silver Reel reportedly bought the rights for Get It While You Can for $117,000 in August of 2014, but the plaintiffs claimed that the Terry and Company have violated terms of that agreement by shopping the script to the other producers, talents, studios, and financiers. Furthermore, that optional agreement was reportedly contingent on the restructuring of $1.7 million in loans Chesterton Capital made to Terry. LKL and Silver Reel says Chesterton, quote, holding the screenplay and picture hostage unless outrageous sums are paid, adding that they are refusing to renegotiate the terms of the loan, which asks for 235% interest. According to the claim, Terry allegedly agreed to those terms because he was undergoing cancer treatment at the time and was, quote, under physical and financial duress. But the plaintiffs added, quote, regardless of the duress, Terry was under the terms of the foregoing loans are unserious, illegal, unconcisable, and unenforceable. The plaintiffs are claiming unfair competitions, interfering with contracts and prospective economic advantages against Chesterton. They have asked a judge to both extend the option agreement, which expires at the end of March, until the lawsuit resolution and stop the defendants from shopping the screenplay for the third party. Get It While You Can was scheduled to begin shooting in the second half of 2015, with Dallas Buyers Club director Jean-Marc Vallée reportedly attached to the helm of the picture. Rolling Stone first reported Adams' role in the movie in 2010, while City of Gold director Fernando Meirelles was attached to direct. At another point, Lee Daniels was set to do so. Despite the protracted production, at least the situation has evolved into a Jackie Drump catastrophe. And finally, the Divergent movie franchise has fought the perception that it was the kid sister of The Hunger Games since it launched last year, but Lionsgate's young adult series may be growing up. Shailene Woodley's sci-fi sequel, Insurgent, the second film in the series, is going to push around Disney's Cinderella and open at #1 at the box office this weekend, analyst says. They project some big girl numbers too, possibly $60 million over the next 3 days. The shadow of the Hunger Games has to hurt at the box office, said exhibition relations senior analyst Jeff Bach, who remains impressive with the adaptation of the Veronica Roth bestsellers, even though they've fallen short of the $2.2 billion in global grosses that the very similar Jennifer Lawrence sci-fi sagas have generated. Block said, it's kind of amazing. It seems like a knockoff in terms of genre, characters, and stories, and usually when two films are not different, the results can be disastrous. But this series has survived on its own merit, and most young adult films don't get as far as this one has. with Woodley, Kate Winslet, and co-stars Miles Teller, Theo James, and Ansel Elgort front and center. Divergent opened to $54 million last March and went on to take in $158 million domestically and $289 million worldwide. 2 months later, Lionsgate announced a sequel, Insurgent, was in the works, along with a third, Allegiant. In April 2014, the studio said that the finale would split into 2 films and release in March 2016 and March 2017. Lionsgate marketing teams deserve credit for overcoming the Hunger Games comparison, the fate of its predecessors, with Insurgent, Block said. It is, however, strong on social media, a little ahead of the first film on Twitter and with 4 times the Facebook likes. Meanwhile, Insurgent ticket sales represent 85% of the business at Fandango Wednesday. Robert Schinkwendt took over as director from Neil Berger on the PG-13 rate Insurgent, which has a screenplay by Brian Duffield, Vika Goldsman, and Mark Bombach. Douglas Wick and Lucy Fisher and Pawaya Shabazian producing with a $110 million production budget. Insurgent will be in 3,885 theaters domestically with early showings on Thursday night. Cinderella will likely lose a significant number of teen girls and young women to Insurgent, but if it holds the way other Disney live-action fairy tales have, it will come in with around $33 million. That is a second-week drop of 50% in the range of Maleficent, which was 50%, Oz the Great and Powerful, 49%, but greater than Into the Woods, 40%. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, March 19, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.